Hey everyone, I hope you have been well and welcome to a new 4D Systems project. In today's video, we are taking a look at how I programmed this Simon Says game using the Workshop 4 Visi environment. I'll take you through the setup and code of the file. Let's get started. For this project, I'm using a Gen 4 ulcd 5-inch capacitive touch display. I am connecting the display to my computer and powering it using a Gen 4 UPA breakout board. The goal of this project is simply to create a working version of the popular game Simon Says, where a color sequence is displayed and the player must memorize and repeat the pattern. I'll be emulating the button press interaction using the available widgets in Workshop 4. So starting in Workshop 4, as usual, I'm going to start a new project, find my display, and I'll be working in the Visi environment. The first thing we'll be doing is setting up all of the widgets and graphics for the project. And after that, I will be moving on to the coding for all of the functionality and logic. On the first form, I want there to simply be a title, some instructions, and some buttons to both choose the difficulty level and of course start the game. Let's add all of those assets in. Over to the widgets menu, I'll start with going to the labels tab and dragging in a static text widget. I'll use this for the title and instructions as well. To customize the text, I'll just select it and come down to the properties tab. I can then choose the font option and it will bring up a window to adjust the text. Once I'm happy with it, I'll press OK and the changes will be displayed on the screen. To change what text is actually being displayed, I simply need to type it out in the caption option, and once I hit enter, it will change what is typed out. I will repeat this process for the rest of the text to be displayed on this page as well, customizing their font, size, and color, as well as what they say. Now I'm going to add in some button widgets. These are going to be to select the difficulty and start the game. I'll go to the buttons tab and drag in a fancy button widget. I'll scale it up, change its color, and give it a start caption. This will be the button that starts the game. I'll then bring in another fancy button, scale it, and copy it over 2 times so we have 3 total. I'll then relabel them as easy, medium, and hard. This will be the difficulty selection. Instead of having all of these buttons act independently, I'm going to create a button matrix. So the user will select the difficulty, it will be highlighted, and depending on their last given input, once they press the start button, the game will be adjusted accordingly. To do that, I just need to find the matrix option and give all of the buttons the same matrix number. In this case, I'll do -1. We can handle the rest of their functionality in the code. That is the first page of the program done. Now we can start building the screen where you actually play the game. To bring in a new form to the program, I'll head over to the System Media tab and click on the Form option. This will create a new blank page in the program. On this form, I'm again going to create a title, and then I'm going to bring in the user LEDs, which will be the interaction points and display the colors flashing on the screen as well. So over to the Digits tab, I'll drag in the user LED widget. I'll scale it up and then I can change its color by expanding the palette option. Here, the high 1 and high 2 are for when the LED is on or activated, and the low 1 and low 2 are for its off state, which is what it's in right now. You can change its active state using the option here as well. I'll repeat this for the rest of the colors so we have 4 user LEDs, and I'll space them evenly along the screen. The very final part of this graphic setup is going to be the score counter. This will store and keep track of how many rounds you have completed correctly for each difficulty. For these, I'm going to use an LED widget, which is the first one in the LED tab. I will drag it onto the display, then scale it up. I'm going to copy it over a few times. Finally, I will just create some labels for this, like the rounds and difficulty level, to let the user know what each number means. We will also be controlling these using code. And there you go. All of our widgets and assets are now imported and ready to be coded. We have the home screen which will appear on boot, and then we have the screen where you play the game. Let's now move on to the code and I'll walk you through the logic. Starting from the top, we set the project platform to Gen4 ulcd 50DCT. Then include the libraries we need for colors, generated widget constants, and the LED digit display function. Next, I've set up a few constants for the game. These cover whether the player input is correct or incorrect, the 3 difficulty levels, and the timing values for each difficulty. Easy has the slowest delay, medium is faster, and hard is the fastest. We also define the 4 button colors as numbers, so green is 0, blue is 1, red is 2, yellow is 3, and clear is used to turn everything off. After that, we have a few global variables for touch, input, and difficulty settings. These store the current touch position, the object being touched, and the current delay and wait times for the game. The first function is update display. This controls the 4 user LED widgets. Depending on the value passed into the function, it turns one LED on and turns the others off. So for example, if the value is green, the green LED would light up. And if the value is clear, all of the LEDs turn off. This function is used both when the game shows the pattern and when the user presses a button. Next is intro screen. This clears the screen, shows the title text, start button, and difficulty buttons. Easy is selected by default, then the code waits in a loop until the user presses start. While waiting, it checks if the user pressed easy, medium, or hard, then updates the timing values and changes the button image index so the selected difficulty is highlighted. After that, Form 2 sets up the game screen. It shows the 4 LED buttons, the score text, and the LED digit widgets. It also displays the saved high scores for easy, medium, and hard. In main, we mount the micro SD card, set the screen orientation, and enable touch. Then we create the main game variables such as the current round, the high scores, and the random sequence array. The random array stores the pattern the game creates, and the input array stores what the user presses. The program then shows the intro screen first, and once the user presses start, it loads the game screen. Inside the main loop, the game first waits based on the selected difficulty. Then it clears the arrays and generates a new random sequence, which gives us a random number between 0 and 3. Those numbers match the 4 button colors. After that, the game plays the sequence back to the user by looping through the random array and calling update display for each color. Once the pattern has finished playing, the code waits for the user to repeat it by checking the touchscreen X and Y position and comparing them against the button areas. This then stores the matching color in the input array. Once 4 inputs have been entered, the code compares the input array against the random array. If they match, the round increases and the game speeds up slightly. If they don't match, it shows game over, resets the round, and sends the user back to the intro screen. Finally, the LED digit displays are updated. The current round display updates every round, and if the player beats the high score for the selected difficulty, that high score is updated as well. So overall, the visual layout is handled by the generated Workshop 4 widgets, while the game logic is handled manually in code using arrays, random numbers, touch coordinates, and image index changes. You could adjust and change the functionality of this project easily as well, such as the speed, length of the pattern, and so on. And there you go. We now have a fully functional and completed Simon Says game made in Workshop 4. So that is everything for this project. If you would like to take a look at any of the products used in this video or download Workshop 4, please visit our website. If you need any support or have any questions, check out our forums and resource center, and of course, like and subscribe for more project videos. Thank you for watching and see you in the next one.